Hey guys, so today we're going to answer a subscriber question. And the question in question was basically, Frederick, can I use something like Firebase to host my static websites? So let's get into it. Now, let's have a little bit of context. So the person in question touched on something that I think is kind of interesting because he's working on a computer science degree and he's into making, I don't know, he has these clients, right? And his clients have fairly simple needs. And so he's considered that these clients, for the most part, need static websites. And then he's considering using Firebase for that. But he expressed a bit of a concern because from his perspective, it doesn't seem like Firebase has all that much respect within the industry. So that's what I want to talk to you about. You see, the thing is that this is I'm not going to touch so much on the prestige thing because honestly, guys, this idea that this exists in every single thing that you can possibly imagine. One group thinks that they're more advanced than another group, and they think that the other group is doing some bullshit thing that nobody really cares about. It's in sports, in academics, you name it, probably in music as well. So let's not touch so much on that. But it is true to a point that serverless is not. I wouldn't call it prestige. I don't think that's the right term for it. Adoption is better, because the thing is, Firebase and these solutions, I can tell you from first-hand experience that these are great. I have several coworkers who use it for many of our for their own projects, and some of them fairly serious projects. Just bear with me, I'll define serious projects. So it is used, but I can all but promise you that you will never ever come to a job interview, sit down and have somebody expect you to know Firebase. On the flip side, it's the same thing. If all you know is, say, AWS's Lambda functions or Firebase or so forth, and you sit down at a job interview and you say, I know software development, they are not, you're most likely not even going to get to the interview, because it's not common practice that companies use Firebase for their backend systems. But that doesn't mean that they can't be used for application development. I personally created a startup from using Firebase, and I have friends, I work with coworkers today, who have web shops, like money-making applications, like small-time money-making applications that are running on Firebase. No problems whatsoever. And for static websites, it's a perfect thing. It's actually, I would even say that it's probably, I'm not going to say better, because it depends on your use case, but it is on par with just using PHP or whatever, the traditional way of setting up whatever project that you have. So what I told the subscriber is basically that, of course, you can use this for serious application development. And you can absolutely, if you are a freelancer, or if you are working on a client-by-client basis, or you want to make something for yourself or your friends, and then use it for absolutely. It's a lot of hassle that goes away if you use something like Firebase. I can tell you that it's pretty great. It gets you started very quickly and so forth, and you can scale it and so forth. But we still have to define, as I said, that for job purposes, if you want to be a professional, you should probably think of it as something that it's a convenience that you can use for smaller projects or with clients who have fairly simple needs. But professionals don't tend to use it. So what I want you to take away from this is that this idea of prestige is not so important. And the fact of the matter is that you can absolutely use something like Firebase for these simpler projects and static websites and so forth. It's the same thing with WordPress, same thing with PHP and so forth. And PHP can, of course, be used for even more advanced projects and so forth. And the important part for you to remember is that when somebody, even I have said this on several occasions, that, this is what real software development is about. And I try to define for you what is quote unquote professional grade software development. Just because something is professional grade or high end or the sort of thing that you see in the industry doesn't mean that the other stuff is just complete bullshit that shouldn't be used. You have to just understand the use case. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. That's what I'm trying to teach you. It is, I'm sorry, but it is all but impossible for me to just make you see the thing that I see after several years of experience, and the same thing that other professionals see when they look at these sorts of tools. And that's why we have to have these conversations over and over and over, so that you can start to understand the mindset. So what I'm saying is that Firebase and Lambda functions and all of this stuff, it's great stuff if you just understand when to use it. And then you also have to remember that there is a time and a place to use these tools, and then there's a time and a place to use the professional grade tools or the things that most of the industry is using. Have a great day.